Hey, this is Rich Kirkham. Nice to be with you today. I want to tell you just a little bit about my amazing experience attending the International Convention, the 2024 convention in Singapore. Wow, was it an amazing experience? When you think about Singapore, you think about this wonderful tropical island and how exotic it is. You think about the scenery, which is truly beyond imagination. And yes, you think about the amazing, gentle people who live in that country. The kind of most amazing part is they all speak English fluently. Oh boy, the food, it was tremendous and delicious. And of course, you could drink sparkling, clean water from any tap, anywhere, without fear of any after effects. It's absolutely the cleanest country I've ever been in. But even with all of those reasons and all of the wonderful tourist places that you can visit, that's not what stuck with me from going to Singapore. Let me explain why I enjoyed so much being in Singapore. It was because I made wonderful connections, connections that you can make through Rotary. Let me give you just a few examples of some of the people I connected with. We rode in on the mass transit, rapid transit train from the airport. And of course, the train was full of people, but super clean train, very fast. And there was an individual on the train who exited at the same stop that I did. And he saw my Rotary shirt or hat or something that I was wearing, and he came up to me and he says, "Are you a Rotarian?" I said, "Yes." And he says, "I am too." He says, "I'm going to be the club president of my club in Toronto." And wow, I was so surprised to see him. He's an immigrant from Nigeria who 10 years ago moved to Canada, and he made it as an immigrant there and joined Rotary and made connections. And now he's going to be the president of his Rotary Club. His name is Isaac, and we've been chatting over WhatsApp and everything since he came back. He's become a very good friend. I had dinner with him. He had dinner with us, me and my wife, twice while we were in Singapore. The first night we were there, and then I saw him, I think, once, maybe at the convention, and we visited a bit. And then the very last night, almost the very last person we saw, we had about a day, an extra day in Singapore after the convention, and literally we were in Little India, they call it. It's a neighborhood of Singapore. And who do I run into again but Isaac? And we stuck together the whole rest of the afternoon. It was a great deal of fun. And we went again to dinner with him. And he said, we have got to do a project together. I told him all about Entropov. He's excited to go home to his Canadian club and share that with them. So that will be fun. And he and I continue to communicate, making great connections. That's the magic of Rotary, right? Now, another person that I connected with is somebody that I've known by Zoom for 2 years now. And his name is Gafar. Gafar happens to be from the Accra Legon East Rotary Club, our partner club in the well drilling project that we're involved in. For 2 years now, we've been working together, our two clubs, to put together a global grant. Gafar is the project leader, and he's an amazing person. I had no idea until I met him in person that he is much taller than I thought he was, because all I had seen was a little bitty picture of him on Zoom. But we visited and talked, and we walked around the convention, and we sat through sessions together, and wow, it was just great to get to know him personally and to meet him in person. We had so much fun. Another guy that we met who is a very interesting Rotarian, his name is Daniel. Now, Daniel comes from the Philippines, and when I saw him, I thought I recognized him. But it's been a long time since I was in the Philippines, and I'm thinking, how would I know this guy? And so we started to talk, and I said, "Have we ever worked together on a project before?" And he says, I don't know. And then it dawned on me. I said, I remember you. You came to the Centennial Rotary Club. I had visited the Centennial Club one day, and Daniel came in. And I said, what brings you here from the Philippines? He says, my daughter lives in Pocatello, Idaho. Oh my goodness, what a great reunion it was to see Daniel. And of course, we caught up on our friendship and promised that we would do some Rotary projects together. And that was really fun. Another guy that I met just by coincidence was a guy named Yoshi. Yoshi was a sergeant at arms, which means that he kind of helped people find their way around and would give directions and answer questions. And his English was pretty good. And I said to him, tell me, where are you from, Yoshi? He says, I'm from Japan. What do you do there? I asked. He says, I'm a farmer. I said, what do you farm? He says, pearls. And it's crazy, but he's a third generation oyster farmer. They have a place where they raise oysters and they harvest the pearls. And they are big sellers of those. So Yoshi was an amazing guy to meet. I asked him if he knew, was there any way that an average Rotarian could get to the top of the 57 floor hotel. I explained to him we weren't guests there, but we were looking for a way to get up there. And he says, it's easy to get up there. I said, really? I said, tell me how, because the only way we had found to get up there was to pay $60 for a round trip elevator ride to the top of the hotel. And he says, you just have to know somebody who's staying in the hotel. I go, well, you got me there. And he says, no. He says, I'm staying there. He says, come on, I'll take you to the top of the hotel. So we left the convention center, crossed the street, went to the hotel, and he got out his card and we rode up to the top. This was an amazing view of Singapore. It's perhaps one of the greatest icons of Singapore when you see any travel literature or anything. This hotel is always featured. It has its unique 3 towers holding up what looks like a giant surfboard on the top of this hotel. And wow, when you're up there, you're in the clouds. It's an unbelievable view. Most of the top of that hotel is an infinity pool, and the edge of the pool just goes right up to the edge of the hotel, and then it drops off, and you are looking down 57 floors to the bay below. Wow, what a great experience it was. And we sat there and visited for a while and had a great talk with our new friend Yoshi. That was great. 2 years ago, our club, with the help of Jay Colonel, we went to Suriname and participated in some service projects down there. So I was walking around the House of Friendship with my other friend Gafar from Africa. And who would I run into but a guy who was from Suriname? And I asked him, he recognized me, and we started to chat, and he was a former district governor there, and he told us that a whole bunch of his club members were there. And he says, come on, well, let's go over and we'll take a picture together and we'll talk about old times. And so we spent some really sweet time reminiscing with Wadi and with other Rotarians who were there that we had made friends with years before. We'd done the Empowering Girls Project. You might remember we raised about $5,000 for that project, and we helped girls get off the streets, girls who were involved in potentially could have been involved in human trafficking, and this gave them the opportunity to become self-reliant and to learn a trade. And by completing this wonderful course that was designed by these Rotarians, they were able to earn a sewing machine and start their own business and get on their feet, off the streets and on their feet. Wow, what a great project. I mean, they were a sight for sore eyes. So great to see them. You know, my list of connections goes on and on. There's not really time to tell you all about it, but there is nothing quite like a Rotary International Convention. While I was there, my wife and I signed up to go to Calgary in 2025. I hope you will consider coming with us. It'll probably be the most accessible, the most affordable international convention that you could ever attend. And every Rotarian should attend an international convention so that you can have the excitement of that five-star experience. The entertainment is amazing. The speakers are motivational. You get to meet with the upper echelon of Rotary and all the leaders that make Rotary such a great organization. You visit the House of Friendship and you come away with so many ideas on how you can join with others to help change the world a little bit at a time. Wow, I hope that you will come with me. Jed Thomas is coming with Karen, and Ben is coming. I hope that many of you will come. Let's set a goal. What do you say? Let's take 20 of us up to Calgary. Let's rent a bus. It would be so much fun. Anyway, we'll talk about that more later. I hope you enjoyed my little review of my experience in Singapore and these wonderful connections that I made. And we'll see you next year in Calgary. Bye.